start by Wales. So here's an early test for the two front rows. Walter Williams, Windsor and Shaw for Wales. Irasabal, Benny and Vacherin for France. Wales get the penalty. The hooker going down. And this sort of situation, tailor-made for Bennett. Bennett, the 25-year-old steelworker from Llanelli. 7 points so far this season for Wales. And that makes 10 for him. That's a start by the Welsh. That's what's meant by a momentum start. Six for France is Skrilla. Robinson losing out there to Seste. That's a long pass from Furuks to Romer. Under it is Phil Bennett. Charged down it by Irasabal into Wales' 25. Romer kicks on. The fall by Morris. 10 yards out from the Welsh line. The French are all there. Can they ruck? 5 yards now. They've moved the play forward. Wales seem to have the situation under control, but France still moving forward. And the play stops. That was Phil Bennett responsible for that, just a little bit slow with the kick. Jean Irasabal, the prop, driving forward, and there is the Welsh try line. Critical for Wales, a put in with Jacques Fourou. The French attack looks as if it'll come on the open side. Furuks being asked to feed again. The orientation of the scrummage is critical, especially for the Welsh. I wonder if Windsor will go for this or whether the Welsh will put on an 8-man shot. Romer, he missed out. Pecune. Great try. A great try for looks, putting France into the lead. The first try of the afternoon. They missed out Pecune, the newcomer at centre. Looks breaking the tackle and scoring in a kickable position. So within 10 minutes of the game, Wales go into the lead and now they trail by a point. The interesting thing over there is that John Williams has the ball to throw into this line. Windsor's done it beforehand, but apparently Wales want 8 men at the line. Not straight. They go back. That's Furuks' kick. JPR Williams, his momentum leaving him no alternative. Six for France, at the back is Skrilla, 7 is Boffelli, number 5 is Esteve, 8 Claude Spanghero, number 1 Irasabal, 4 Seste the captain. And that was Claude Spanghero winning near the middle of the line. Mervyn Davies very close to him, and the Welshman caught too near the line before the end of the line-out. The line-out had not ended and Wales were up too near to it. There's the Welsh 25. That's the kind of mistake that was made by Wales in Dublin, and look what a good position it gives Romer. Here's Romer then. France looking for a total of 7 from this kick. Yes, it moves up to 7. Romer's first successful kick of the afternoon, and France move up to a lead of 7-3, and there are only 12 minutes of the game gone. The flanker on this side for Wales is Cobner, winning his 3rd cap today, the physical education teacher, who's captain of Pontypool. The French have screwed Wales towards touch, somehow they got out of it. Bennett's kick for the centres to chase. Hall moving up very fast. That's a drop. Feed on by Morris. And they'll have to come back. And that's interesting. Bertrand was the winger who covered for France. And a kick to Wales for offside against France, probably by Spanghero. Seste wanting to know the reason why. Smack in front. 18 yards out. That's over. Bennett's second penalty of the afternoon, and Wales creep back a little. 14 minutes into the game, the French lead trimmed to a point by Bennett. The National Stadium wet, but as you saw, plenty of grass on it, and the dampness doesn't seem to have interfered with the players. Strong knee forward Walter Williams, feeds Ian Robinson, who uses his strength to work the ball back. Bennett looking for space, but Bertrand had dropped back to anticipate. He runs into Finlayson, he transfers to Lux to Boffelli. Boffelli missed by Morris. Mervyn Davies also misses him. Comes inside, Skrilla knocks on. The French profiting in front of this huge crowd from the breakdown of a Welsh attack. Bertrand covering the kick. "20 yards in. Edwards, Bennett going onto his left foot. It's not his good one. There we are. Romer charging down. Bennett's left foot not trusted there. Critical moment for Wales then. Will this go to Ian Robinson? Hasn't held it. The referee cannot see, and he says anyway that it wasn't straight. And he'll give the put in to the French because it was John Williams' throw. A bit of a cheer going up for Ian Robinson, last to get up, in front of, I suppose, a lot of Cardiff people, his own crowd. This is the situation from which France scored earlier. The Welsh defence. Spanghero picking up, looking for Picayune, can't work it. And what's happened under the ruck? Mr. Sansom can't see. Got to bring him back. And there was a shove from the French pack then. The Welsh back row apprehensive, perhaps not giving their full weight. France putting 8 men into the shove. Little Furuks then from La Voulte. Edwards will want to watch what he gets up to. Bennessy takes. Romer again, the same move. Aguirre is in, and this time Hall comes away. Bertrand covering. That was an identical move from which France scored before. The covering done by Bertrand when Hall broke it up and came away. (14 for Wales). Gerald Davis today winning his 28th cap and playing for the 6th time against France. That's not straight, but France wins, so the game proceeds. Romer, tactical kick into space for Bertrand to chase. Gain good ground. So France taking men away. They leave Esteve and Claude Spanghero and Seste. We have Mervyn Davies. That's good. Aguirre for France. As Quinnell and Windsor came in, and Cobner behind, and Mervyn Davies, whose kick it was. There's Quinnell, number 5, and there's no doubt today, I would say, about his fitness. Looking a bit of a slimline Quinnell this afternoon. That's a good tap down by Mervyn Davies. Edwards gathered, looking for a drop. That's a great shot. The captain puts Wales back into the lead with a drop shot. between Wales and France since the war, since French rugby has matured. Wales, we have won 13 matches and the French have won 12. Pretty even Stevens. And a reminder that the French were the last European side to win here on this famous turf in '68. Finlayson, they miss out. Paul, very good tackle. And the French must have been up too close to Gerald Davis. They began their move up in defence too soon, and away out of the picture. They've been awarded, they've been penalised, and Gerald Davis felt that. Certainly, you're always open to the very hard tackle if you try to come into the line by surprise. Bobby Windsor, 26 years of age, his fourth cap, the steel worker who has the hooking spot for Wales. That was Mervyn Davies trying to reach into the French line to take. Who has the strength in them all? Wales have it. Morris, the last man. It comes to Ian Hall, looking for a way through, coming back to strength. Now he's got to turn and feed, and Frenchmen are in the way. They're on the wrong side of the ruck. Magic work by Wales. Edwards for position. Oh, the magic touch from the Welsh scrum half. French have a problem. Du Bertrand out of picture, wondering who to throw to, asking Seste. And it's going to Este of the big man, but Mervyn Davies is higher. Bennett, the dummy scissors, Finlayson, you dropped it! Little looks, and Bennett's back to retrieve the error. Skrilla has him, he flicks it to John Williams. And it doesn't matter that it's a drop kick, it's still in touch on the full, so they don't gain anything. The Welsh midfield triangle playing together for the second time, but a little out of touch then, surrendering ground through their mistake. French removed a couple of men from the line. Mervyn Davies wins. It's not good to Edwards, and furthermore he's outside the 25. Ho-ho! A bit of ping pong. It's not touch. This is Jean-Michel Aguirre. Derek Quinnell under. Gone forward from him, and offside against Wales. Shaw, I think, was in front of Quinnell after the knock-on. The correct decision, and Romer is going to shoot for target. The distance. One penalty to Jean-Pierre Romer's credit this afternoon. That's how it looks to those on the Taffen terrace. It's over. The touch judge is doubtful, but unless it was an optical illusion to them, it looked good to us, and the French are in the lead again for the second time. Even from here, you can see the big bald head of number 4 for France, Elie Seste. He's the only survivor of the French 15 that won here in '68. And he, like Gerald Davis, won his first cap in 1966. Romer finds John Williams in position. Now, is he going to take him on? Skrilla he ran into. Edwards, not good. Claude Spanghero on halfway. Now the French will chase this, and he is going to put them onside. John Williams can't make the mark as he'd hoped to. Must release the ball, he has done. Should come on the Welsh side. But Wales offending with the hand on the far side of the ruck. Two of his kicks have gone over, he's missed one, and the betting is that this will go over. And up go the flags. And the French move up to 13 points, a lead of 4, thanks to the boot of Jean-Pierre Romer. J.J. Williams of Llanelli on the left. Furuc. And France's advantage must have been an infringement by the French at the line. So we're close to the French 25. Wales a good attacking position. They could do with a score before half-time. It's for J.J. Williams from Edwards, but it's too full. And Roland Bertrand, number 14, nurses the ball till it's dead. Robbo drops out as we move to injury time in the first half at the National Stadium. The service will be by Quinnell with help from David Morris and Cobner, Bennett, Hall, Finlayson, J.J. Williams, and closely nursed by Bertrand. J.J. Williams is in with a chance. Great stuff. J.J. Williams levels the scores with a fine piece of control play, revealing what a sophisticated winger he has become in the last couple of years. Finlayson gave him the pass in the foreground. The Welsh win the ball at the maul. David Morris' service. Now watch how Ian Hall puts John Williams away, but the winger still has everything to do. 2 kicks, and he's got the pace to beat Aguirre to the touchdown. The pressure was on. Bennett has miscued, but we're all squared just before half-time. It's been a tremendous first half, really. Wales edging into the lead, being overhauled by the French, going back into the lead, and now having been overhauled yet again, tying things just before half-time. That is big Walter Williams in the middle, the Neath man who's winning his second cap today, late in his career, but they're all so pleased down at the Knoll about this Indian summer for Walter Williams. Walter right in the middle of all that, applying his great strength, and that ruck, that maul, turns out to be the final act of the first half, which has been amazingly even. A try to each side, the rest of the damage done by the kickers, and we reach there with that scoreline, 13-13. Nearer to touch than Phil Bennett was when he tried from the halfway line in the first half. Jean-Pierre Robbo hoping to nudge France back into the lead from 55 yards. It's climbing and it's dropping. J.P.R. Williams. Scissors with Gerald Davis. Now Wales are in strength on this side. Yes, Finlayson. Mrs. Seste, good inside to Mervyn Davis. Seste has him, and little Pecune was there for France as well. Now Wales must win. Walter Williams doing his best. France going into the ruck pretty well. Cobner in possession. Robinson helped there to get strength into the Welsh effort. And will Shaw be adjudged offside? I thought Edwards had just passed him, but he may have been accidentally offside, so France get the put in. So this half you're looking at Glyn Shaw as the Welsh loose head. It's the position he occupies for Neath. David Morris, another Neath man with a charge down. And Morris, a reminder, winning his 33rd cap for Wales, the most capped of all Neath men. That's France's 25 on the left. Mervyn Davis is getting a lot of ball at the end. Edwards to Cobner. He has to kick, but he can't get across the advantage line any other way. Gerald Davis, J.P.R. Williams. Boffelli's there for France, and so is Pecune with the clearance. French put in. Robbo. Now there's a lot of space on the Welsh left. J.J. Williams, the nearest to the ball, crossing halfway. J.P.R. in attendance. Dummy scissors. should have the pace to go around Skrella. Gerald Davis, he's got Windsor! And Seste, the French captain, did the magical interception, knocking on in the process. Great bit of work by the Welsh. The two Williams is prominent. Windsor must take this. Bennett on the right. Oh, and a knock on by Hall. It's hit the ground. It's not a cricket catch, and the play will stop. A reminder for those who are not sure about the knock-on law: if it hits the ground or another player, it is a knock-on, and that one from Hall hit the ground. Good wheel by the Welsh. Farouk stayed fast and cool, and so does Romer with the kick. (13-13), 16 minutes to go. Which of these two sides, if either, will crack in the last quarter of an hour? Well, if it is France, it won't be for want of Welsh trying. Move it, move it. It comes to Jay Williams, and Lux gets a foot to it. French backs coming up tremendously quickly on men like Alex Finlayson there, and they're pinning the Welsh backs. Who will John J. Williams aim for this line? Looks like it'll be a short one to Robinson. Yes. Edwards, Bennett, Finlayson, Hall, Gerald Davis with a bit of room. But he chose to make the break on the inside, where he ran into the cover instead of taking on Dubertrand. This is Morris going forward. Benacis and Vacarin have him for France, 2 and 3. David Morris, always playing towards the sound of gunfire, always in attendance. There he is, number 6. Robinson won that. A long one from Edwards. As Skrella challenges Bennett, he gets a fine shot in, and that's a gain of 35 yards from the little Llanelli steelworker. The 10-yard line of Wales. Dubertrand with a throw for France. Claude Spanghero wins. The Welsh through the line very rapidly, which once the tap has taken place you're allowed to do. Farouk's. Gerald Davis has to turn. Dubertrand is on him, and the whistle goes for what? I think for the award of a mark by Davis. Infield, Aguirre, France's fullback, on halfway. That's touch on the full. That's virtually a surrender, and that turns Gerald Davis's somewhat loose kick into a winner. Halfway. If either side then can make an incisive break in these last 11 minutes of play, then they should take the spoils. But the question is, can either of them do it? Have they got the weaponry to break the defence? Here's the Welsh attempt. Finlayson, got to link, he got to link. Gone forward. Farouk's. Dave Morris, never in. Signs from the Welsh front row that they're very badly wanting to win ball now. I think we'll see Windsor strike for this. That's a good shove by the Welsh anyway. France come away with it. Claude Spanghero's pass. John Williams. Up it goes. 25 yards to make. He's up on Claude Spanghero. Takes him 10 yards from the French 25 now. The Welsh going into the ruck well. France lying on, being penalised. Claude Spanghero did well to be under the kick, and John Williams took him to the ground, and he didn't get up. He broke the law. John Williams, who created that faux pas from Spanghero. There's the view from behind the post, and believe me, it's not as easy as that. This is a critical kick. Oh, it's there! Cinq minutes, 5 minutes left of this international. Wales 16 points, France 13. And still the game has a feel of being wide open. Estève to Claude Spanghero, to Furuks, to Robbo. And again the French standoff kicks. Mervyn Davies in the classic number 8 position, just behind the backs covering. Robbo kicks on, JJ and JPR. And the fullback leaves it to the sprinter, who gets away, puts the ball to touch up near halfway. JJ Williams, so mature now, since he won his first cap as a replacement against France 10 months ago. (26-17) to Wales at the line-outs. Steady on, that's not the score I'm giving, that's the line-out count. 26-17, and this is ominous. A Welsh infringement at the line. Probably obstruction. And Robbo. This is the man France brought in for this game to put the kicks over. That is the long demand that Elie Seste, his captain, makes of him. Robbo has obliged the French selectors with 9 points this afternoon. And this is the kick above all kicks that he would wish to go over. 3 minutes left. Robbo to try and tie the score. What a pity the Welsh are booing him. I don't know whether they put him off his stride, but it's not something one likes to hear at the Arms Park. Why do these people boo? One just wonders, who are they, why do they do it? So the Welsh 25 is the scene. France have been mounting in the last 10 minutes a series of offensives, and the Welsh defence being called on to stand firm. Quinnell gone to the end of the line to look after Estève, but Mervyn Davies wins for Wales, and Edwards inside his 25 takes no risks, aims for touch. And what is the decision? A Welshman offside, and the referee is offering Seste a scrum back inside the Welsh 25, or the kick from there, and Seste takes the kick from there. So yet again Robbo comes over. Very, very careless by international forwards not to align yourself and make sure where the kicker is to stay onside. Windsor regretting it, biting his nails, I'm sure. There's the distance. That is the situation with just 2 minutes of the match left. And 45 yards out, Jean-Pierre Robbo might be able to do something about it. Well, I don't know if they shout like this at kickers in the south of France. Oh, narrow miss, JPR, Williams. Touch, not one of his better efforts, but it's in. And the French will leave the Arms Park, perhaps. Whatever memories they take away, it'll be of the booing that greeted their kickers' attempts to shoot goals. What a reflection on the modern Welshman. A minute of this international left. And Claude Spanghero wins. Furuks, rapid service. Robbo drops. He's done it! He's done it! He failed with 2 penalties, but the drop has gone over. And look at his delight. That's why France had him in their 15 today, and he does the trick. He levels the scores with a half a minute of the international left. 16-16. Bennett. Vaccarin's under it for France. Robinson takes him out. Touch.
Ripley tackled there by Mervyn Davis. Webster to Alan Old, but it's a penalty for playing after the tackle, for playing the ball after the tackle. Edwards to Phil Bennett, looking for his forwards. This is Llewellyn. Llewellyn of Swansea, out to Delmy Thomas, over halfway. J.J. Williams. J.J. Williams, and this could be a try. Williams and Squire, can Duckham get there first, or is it Williams? The referee has awarded a 25, and the whole of excellent point scoring for England this season, and who I think is a better player perhaps than he's given credit for. 10 minutes of the first half over, no scoring, cat and mouse stuff. Gerald Davis throws, Utley gets in front, it's caught by Poulin. Poulin tackled by Robinson. John Poulin, who captains the England side in a full international for the 12th time. Neary, Webster, Old, inside to Evans. Evans with a blistering pace, Utley's with him. What a great move, he gives it to Ralston. Ralston to Duckham. Duckham's going to score. What a try. David Duckham's 8th international try for England. And it was a marvellous move. It was this sizzling burst by Jeff Evans that did it. See how he cut through, then the support from the forwards, Utley first of all, then this huge man, Chris Ralston, like a runaway tank, and watch the sidestep from David Duckham. Phil Bennett. Good kick for his forwards. Webster. Neary. Over the 25. That was Alan Old tearing up but didn't get the ball. Ripley couldn't control it. At number 12 is big Alex Finlayson, the Cardiff policeman, who's having his third match today. And this crowd perhaps not getting a tremendous amount of really spectacular play, but enjoying the thrills and the tension of it. Halfway through the first half, England ahead by 1 try, 4 points to 0. J.J. Williams and Bora. Peter Squires only 2 yards out. And Wales having desperate trouble with their own ball. England have taken one against the head. Ripley holding and pushing, and once it hits the line he can fall on it, and it could be a pushover try. Well, The ball may not have been over the line when he handled it, and if so, it would be handling in a scrummage, hence a penalty to Wales. You have to wait until the ball touches the line or crosses it. J.J. Williams throws, Gareth Edwards, Phil Bennett. And a penalty to England for a bit of late obstruction, I think. Alan Old then with a kick of 35 yards. Old, straight enough and high enough. Mike Titcombe's flag goes in the air to signal a penalty for Alan Old and a lead for England of 7 points to 0 with 23 minutes of the first half over. Phil Bennett restarts, Mike Burton waits. About 10 yards outside the English 25. The two number 7s at the back. Terry Cobner for Wales, who scored a try against Scotland, and Tony Neary. Notice how Tony Neary drifted out so as to get up on Phil Bennett. Here it's coming along the line to Finlayson. Finlayson was turned there, and England had a real chance of winning that ball. A good shove there by Stack Stevens, pick up by Ripley, out to Webster, gives it to Jeff Evans. That was a good tackle by Bergier. Webster again, tackled by Cobner, into Neary, tackled by Mervyn Davies, fed out from Peter Dixon. Now it's Burton. Terry Cobner has it for Wales. Gareth Edwards. Penalty again, I think, for a bit of obstruction. Phil Bennett. Slide rule kicking from Phil Bennett. He hasn't had enough chances to test out the England fullback, but he really does pop them into the right place. This is David Duckham to throw. Ralston against Delmy Thomas in the middle, and Ralston got a hand to it. Kicked through there by Mervyn Davies, he could score. That shows what happens when you get untidy ball. Dave Morris got through first, and look at Mervyn Davies' pace. An opportunist score for Wales. Mervyn Davies' second try for his country in a full international. And Phil Bennett's opportunity to cut the leeway to just 1 point. Bennett, big and long, what a kick! And in one single dramatic moment, England nicely ahead at 7-0. Are cut back to 7 points to 6. Mervyn Davies, Edwards, Bennett, Bergier. They've missed out Finlayson. This is Roger Blythe, the fullback. Blythe gives it to Dave Morris, to Terry Cobner, almost up to the English 25. Ian Robinson to Mervyn Davies. This is Gareth Edwards, out to Phil Bennett. Phil Bennett over the 25. What a run! And Bobby Windsor was up there in support, so was Glyn Shaw. And that was the kind of running that all of Wales has hoped to see from this man, Phil Bennett. Wales breathing on the English line. Edwards, Phil Bennett, They've missed out Bergier to Finlayson. That's meant for J.J. Williams. The bounce will be important. And it was young Hare, the English fullback, who got a foot to it. He was on the ground, but there was no tackle or anything like that involved, and he was able to kick it. That's the English goal line. What great scrummage control there by England. Webster. It was a rebound here. Tackled there by Finlayson and Bergier. They're into the in-goal area. Ball held. Wales will have the scrummage. Pressure on John Pullen. He would want to take a strike against the head, but he didn't give away a penalty. Gareth Edwards to Phil Bennett. Phil Bennett. Finlayson, the Cardiff centre, getting within 5 yards, but the pass was forward. Wales turning the screw as half-time approaches. About 5 minutes to go to the interval. 7 points to 6 for England. Wales knowing they've got to face the breeze second half. Ripley again controlling that ball in the scrummage. And the Welshman must have broken and got a foot in front. As long as they were in the scrummage, they were all right, but if you break and your foot is in front and the ball's still in, it's offside. Alan Old. It's going to drop short. Phil Bennett with Duckham. Gives it to Gerald Davis. This is Blythe, the fullback, inside to Mervyn Davis. But they'll have to come back. Referee's whistle had gone. Edwards to Bennett. Bennett tackled by Evans, gives it to Copner. Copner tackled there by Old. That's Bergier with the ball. This penalty to Wales against, I think, Stack Stevens for being offside at that ruck. And it's Phil Bennett with this chance to put Wales ahead as half-time approaches. It just crept in by the left-hand post. But it was a kick beautifully struck, and it puts Wales ahead by 9 points to 7. That's the English 25. Edwards, Phil Bennett, Bergier. They've missed out Finlayson, Roger Blythe. Blythe over the 25. J.J. Williams. Referee's whistle has gone for half-time. And Wales have missed a great opportunity of going further ahead on the whistle. But they're leading by 9 points to 7. They have to think now of the prospects of playing into the breeze. It could be hard for them, but obviously this game could still go either way. The second half then. And Old with a long one. Right up to Phil Bennett. England as close as that. And once again, John Pullen has a word with his thrower. back by Ralston. Webster to Alan Old. Alan Old gives it to Jeff Evans. Evans, powerful and strong, of Coventry and Warwickshire. Little Webster, 5'5", trying to haul away that Welsh body because it was blocking the clearance of the ball. No wonder he couldn't shift it. It belonged to Mervyn Davies, and there's an awful lot of him, 6 feet 4.5. His first for England, and it looked so simple, but it was the way he controlled it. Then when he picked up, look at this speed of the 400 metres, man. He really covered 10 to 15 yards there, like a blue light, and this great reach of his brought him the try. Alan Old making no mistake with that one. Tagging on a conversion to his previous penalty goal. And England take the lead, 13 points to 9. So we're almost 10 minutes into the second half. England ahead 13 points to 9. That's the English 25. Oh, another one against the head for Windsor, Mervyn Davies. Dave Morris, number 6, trying to rip it out for Wales. Edwards out to Phil Bennett. Phil Bennett. But it's a penalty. Of course, the Englishman had half stopped. Penalty for offside. The referee may have blown just before he saw Phil Bennett break through. Perhaps could have let the advantage go a bit longer. Phil Bennett with the penalty chance. And that gives Phil Bennett a Welsh record, because he's hoisted his points tally for this season to 36, which is one more than Barry John's record for one season. 13 points to 12, England lead. Almost 11 minutes of the second half gone. Alan Old to restart. Roger Blythe. One point in it then. It really is boiling up to what could be a tremendous climax to this match. Bennett drifting one back to his forwards. Glynshaw, Gareth Edwards, inside to Phil Llewellyn. Phil Llewellyn helped by Bobby Windsor. That was great work by Windsor. Morris, Edwards, Phil Bennett into space. Finlayson could get the bounce. Yes, he has, over halfway. Gives it to Bergier, tackled by Duckham. Almost up to the English 25. Tremendous bit of robbing there by David Duckham, who did a forwards job. This is Delmy Thomas. Edwards to Bennett. Bergier, good tackle there by Jeff Evans. Out to Poulin. Poulin gives it to Webster. And here, hounded there by the huge Mervyn Davies. Does what a couple of Englishmen should have done before him. Hits it into touch. No doubt England are remembering that quite often they've been ahead of Wales and been overhauled. JJ throws in. Tony Neary. Neary tackled by Finlayson. Bergier got a foot to that one. This is Delmy Thomas out to Windsor. Windsor gives it to JJ Williams. Inside to Phil Bennett. Finlayson booting on, but it had gone forward. Tremendous enthusiasm and excitement here, of course. Quarter of the match then. Ripley again, Webster out to Squires. It's a nasty one for Blythe. Up comes Smith, the English centre. Blythe, tackled by Smith, number 12, gives it to Finlayson. Great stuff under pressure by the Welshman. Gerald Davies, tackled by Duckham. Finlayson looping. Bergier's there as well. 15 yards from the Welsh line. Gerald Davies tackled again by David Duckham. A penalty for dangerous use of the feet against one of the Welshmen. Alan Old then. Turning round and just creeping over. England owe such a lot to this young man this season. 8 points he's contributed to this international. 54 for England altogether. And that puts England ahead 16 points to 12. One against the head for John Pullen. Webster inside to Ripley. Ripley tackled there by Mervyn Davies. Webster to Alan Old, but it's a penalty for playing after the tackle, for playing the ball after the tackle. Edwards to Phil Bennett, looking for his forwards. This is Llewellyn. Llewellyn of Swansea, out to Delmy Thomas. Over halfway, J.J. Williams. J.J. Williams. And this could be a try. Williams and Squire. Can Duckham get there first? Or is it Williams? The referee has awarded a 25. And the whole of Wales is up in arms. It was a tremendous race. Squires 14, Duckham, J.J. Williams. Well, J.J. seemed to know that he'd got a hand to it. But the referee says no. Now Wales, of course, down to 7 forwards. Jeff Wheel of Swansea, bringing the Swansea complement up to 4. The Welsh contingent tries to lift their side to a big last effort. Squires throws, Edwards to Bennett, to Finlayson to Bergier. Blythe in the line. Jeff Evans, tackled by Bergier, almost up to the Welsh 25. That's Keith Smith of England. And it's Blythe to clear. Big Roger Blythe, who perhaps has had a wee bit of bother with his hands too when coming into the line. Of course, he's new and it's not easy to time your entry perfectly. David Duckham to throw. Ripley again, gives it to Burton. Mike Burton of Gloucester hoists it. J.J. Williams waits, tackled by Evans. The pick-up by Stack Stevens. Almost up to the Welsh 25. John Webster out to Alan Old, gives it to Squires. Squires, tackled by Bergier. The break by Gareth Edwards. Dave Morris carrying it on. Now it's Llewellyn to Glynshaw. Gareth Edwards tackled by Pullen. Ripley, tackled by Mervyn Davies, inside to Roger Utley. Mike Burton was there as well, and it's John Pullen eventually, but a foot in touch. J.J. Williams throws, Delmy Thomas, Wheel takes it. Bobby Windsor in there, working it back well. Edwards to Phil Bennett, to Finlayson. Gerald Davies gives it to Terry Cobner. This is Dave Morris. Morris tackled by Jeff Evans, almost up to the 25. Bergier has it, and Terry Cobner was there helping him. And it was Hare, the young English fullback, who was ready with the tackle. You can see the English 25. The referee's whistle had gone, but another glimpse of one of those magnificent reverse passes from Gareth Edwards. Once again, the ball kicked straight out, and we can all appreciate the difference in the scrummaging in this second half. This is Gareth Edwards, inside to Gerald Davis, gives it to Cobner, they're into the English 25, and it's Alan Old's boot that gives relief to England. 3 minutes of injury time played. England still ahead, 16 points to 12. Wales on the English 25. Gerald Davis to throw. Up goes Delmy, but it's Mervyn Davis. Stack Stevens puts it on. The referee, Mr. West from Leinster in Ireland, has had a little look at his watch. Notice him standing at the side to check the spacing. Webster, again, taking on all comers. Edwards, Phil Bennett. They've missed out Bergier to Finlayson to Roger Blythe. Blythe has J.J. Williams outside him. The pick-up by Jeff Evans. Rescued there by Ralston. Webster clears. The referee's whistle has gone for the end of the match. And the relief and delight is mirrored on the faces of those English players. And natural disappointment for the Welshmen. Scenes of tremendous enthusiasm, of tremendous pleasure and relief here at Twickenham. John Pullen, the English captain there, who must be absolutely delighted with this result. Because, of course, it's a victory that brings John Pullen and England particular pleasure. Their first win over Wales for 11 years. Their first win over Wales at Twickenham for 14 years. Tremendous disappointment for Clive Rowlands and the Welsh side to see the championship snatched away from Wales in this, his last season as national coach for them. For England, of course, success at last from all their previous disappointment.